Hello and welcome to the part 4 of this video series on chatbot integration with conversational AI. And in today's episode, we will talk about how to integrate our chatbot, which we created in last 3 sessions, with our UI5 applications. If you have not seen my part 3, 2 and 1 subsequently as part of this video series, I would put the link of that in the description of the video. Kindly check the part 1, 2 and 3 before watching this video directly. So in our last session, we have created our chatbot as part of SAP's Conversational AI. So we'll quickly switch to the chatbot which we have developed, and let's have a quick testing of the chatbot to look at what we had built. So this is our chatbot for resetting the user password, and I'll say hello. I want to reset my password. It says which system. I would say I want to change it in FES, and then it gives me the link. When I click on that, it takes me to anubatrainings.com. Awesome. So that's what the chatbot, a very simple one though. So I want to now integrate this chatbot to our SAP UI5 applications. Now before we do that, let's also try to understand the fallback condition. Just imagine your computer or your chatbot, if it doesn't understand some instructions, what it has to do now in that case. So it has to give a meaningful reply to the end users to check more about the details. So maybe for that we implement something called fallback. Let's go to the build, and now in the build you will see there's a section for fallback. The fallback is actually a special skill which gets invoked every time your chatbot is not equipped or not ready to handle the request which comes from the user. So you can go to the fallback condition, and in this you can also define the action. What should it reply to the user in case if it doesn't understand what user tried to say. So what I would probably change this to is, I would say, sorry, I am unable to understand what you requesting or what you said. Please check our website anubatrainings.com for more details. So this is more like a generic information I want to give to the user if my chatbot doesn't understand something. So this is what we do. You can also put here something called conversation or message or whatsoever, but this is a simple reply which I want to configure at this point of time. Let's click on save, and now let's go back and test our chatbot for condition which our chatbot doesn't understand. For example, if I say I want to create a new user, and this is something my chatbot doesn't understand. So in that case, it gives you a fallback condition, or it hits your fallback and then it gives the standard reply which you have coded as part of the fallback. I hope you all understood what is fallback. So this is what now we are ready with to integrate with our SAP UI5 application. So what will be the approach to integrate this? So in order to do that, you go to connect section of the chatbot, and now you see there are a variety of integrations which you can achieve of this chatbot. You can see here variety of options. Then the most suitable option, if you want to also utilize this free chatbot with also your website maybe. So you have your own website or a web page or where you would like to also integrate this is completely possible. Not at all. The same option can be used to integrate the chatbot with the UI5 application, which we will be demonstrating today. So now if you can see here the option web chat, just click on plus. And when you say plus, you see here there are different options to configure. For example, you can choose the color scheme. How does the foreground, the background color, different colors will look like. So I want to match it with my branding, my brand theme. Then I can probably accordingly choose the different colors here. For example, I would like to go with this color to match my brand theme. Now you can also go with accent color. You see here there are different options to choose what color the messages from the chatbot will be displayed. Let's say I want to configure the blue color out there for my messages which my chatbot will send to the user. So all that you can see. You can also go for, let's say, background color. Maybe you want to go with little darker theme. So this kind of color scheme you can choose. How will it look like ultimately? So that's the first part. The second is header customizing. You can change the logo. You can put some header title, let's say Anubhav's chatbot, and just put that. And I can choose message settings, yeah, some logo and all. Onboarding message, hey, are you bored? So then you can also put a default welcome message. How can I help you today? That's a default message which will go. And you can also now choose here call to action title. So just go back again, call to action title, click on me, let it be. And now interesting part here is global settings. So you can also put here how long the conversation should be saved, not be saved, all that you can put in here. What if user opens it up? You can also want to configure that, a lot of these things you can put in there. Okay, now click on this button and maybe just say create now. And what you would observe, system will generate something called a global key. Now this global key includes a channel ID and a token ID. So basically this is your channel on which the chatbot is being stored, along with the chatbot ID includes in this. And also if you want to access that, this is the unique token which you got to pass to in order to access the chatbot which we have. So we will need this information to integrate with any website or any web page, or probably with our UI5 app. So right now I will leave you on this page itself, and in the meantime I will switch to our web IDE. And before even we switch to our web IDE, let's understand what will be our approach to integrate. So basically every page which you see on the browser is constructed via something like a DOM. So DOM is your document object model, which consists of your HTML elements sequentially arranged. So it's a basically tree data structure. So typically an HTML page includes something called HTML document, and this HTML document contains something called a header and a body. Now what we want to do is we want to showcase a chatbot as part of our application in the HTML. So we need to modify this DOM in a way that our chatbot options are visible to the user. Now basically what user can actually see is what exists in a body. So this is something which we learned also as part of our UI5 training. Those who are completely new to this world of DOM and HTML, please subscribe our UI5 training on anubhavtrainings.com, because that's where we will cover all the basics and even the advanced concepts of UI5 and Fiori development. This completely includes basics of HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, absolutely designed for an absolute beginner. You will be able to learn end-to-end development of applications, including the basics. So that's covered in our training. So now in the body, what we will be doing is we will be modifying the body at runtime. And to do that, we have an object. We have basically a ready to use object which is available in your web application in the JavaScript called document. So document is like, your Sai Sabarsi in SAP. You don't have to declare Sai Sabarsi or Sai Datum or Sai Uname in ABAP language to use it, right? It's already there. Similarly, the document object is already there in JavaScript, which helps you to talk to this complete HTML structure, which is so-called the DOM. So now the document object we will be using, and what we will do is we want to tell, hey, HTML, I want to insert a new element at runtime under the body, and I will name this element, let's say, Anubhav. So what this Anubhav element will do, this will be the container which is going to contain my chatbot logo. And when that logo is pressed, it's going to invoke my chatbot, which is built in Kai, using its integration key, using its token as well as channel ID. So this injection of element will happen at runtime. When my page is loaded, my UI5 page is loaded. At that point of time, I want to inject this new element using my document object. For that, we will use certain APIs available in the document object, like document.create element, and then set attribute to set the data to that. So that we will see now in a minute. So let's go to the system. So now this element is going to point to the chatbot which you had built in the Kai. So this is your Kai environment in the cloud, and this is where you have a channel ID and a token ID to which you will be invoking using this element. So this element will have properties like channel ID, token ID, which we will be setting, through which it will do a communication to the Kai, and then Kai will actually load the whole chatbot at runtime in this new element, new DOM element called Anubhav. So that's the theory part of it. Let's go to the system, and we will start with creating our first UI5 application. So we'll go with the template, and I would choose a simple UI5 application here. Say next, and let's put some project name. I would say Anubhav Chatbot, and we'll put the namespace as Anubhav Training.chat, and I will say next. Let's create a view named as main view. It's an XML type of view, and just to make it a little more interesting, what I will do is I will just inject an image to our view. An empty view doesn't look beautiful, right? So let's also give some title as part of your IT9 file here, your app description, and I want to set the title as our website name, trainings.com. Save this up. Let's go back, and now here we will create quickly an image element. Let me make it a little zoom in so that you guys can see the code. So this is an existing control which is part of SAPM library which we injected quickly, and I will just say Anubhav bot.jpg. So basically this is an image file which I will be now quickly importing to our web app folder. Right click on the web app folder, import from file system, and I would browse my computer directory, and I have something called anubhavchat.jpg file which I want to import, and let's put the file name correct here, anubhavchat.jpg. So this is a very simple basic UI5 application. In just about 2 minutes we are able to create. Let's run this app. Right now this app won't show your chatbot, of course, because it's just a basic UI5 app with one image control inside. Yeah, voila, you see this shows up nicely. You have got a screen which is getting displayed here, an image which is getting displayed in the web page, in the XML view. Okay, so now it's time to integrate our chatbot. So for that I will switch to the component.js file, which is the launching file, the starting point of any UI5 application. I'm not going to explain here in this unit about what is component.js and what is manifest.js and what is an MVC architecture. That's all covered in our training, UI5 training, more in detail, but more focus here is to integrate the chatbot. So let me create a method here. I say get my chatbot. So just want to create a reusable method. Let me define that method over here in the component.js get my chatbot, and it's a reusable function which I want to create. So now in this we will be following certain steps. So what are those exact steps we will be following? So we will go ahead, and as I mentioned, we will be creating a new element at runtime. Yeah, so we will be saying to the system, hey system, can you please create a new element called Anubhav into my DOM in the body of HTML, and then we will set some properties like what is the channel ID and the token ID. So let me write down the steps. So initially when the page loads, this method gets called. So I will first cross check if the element Anubhav already there. If it is already there, I assume that yeah, this is already there. I don't want to create it, because what happens, the way HTML or XML behaves is, if an element is already there with same ID, to try to again create it, system will throw you an error, right? You all know that. So we will just cross check if my element is already there. So I will just say it's not. If it is not there, then I want to create. So I'll say document.getElement by ID, and I will say just please quickly check for me if this guy is there or not. If it is not there, then only I would like to create one. So I will say var new element. I want to create a new element, and this element I will create again with the document object, document dot create element API. So ready-made function inside, and this element must be of type script tag. Okay, so we create this new element, and now let's set some properties to this element. We can of course set attribute, and we will name the attribute first as ID, and of course I'm naming this as ID Anubhav. That's a unique identifier I'm assigning to my newly created element. In the next subsequent step, we'll say this new element dot this element is going to render from SAP Kai. Yeah, so that's why we will put the source from where this element is going to get loaded, and that source is going to be your URL of the chat. Yeah, so that's something you can obtain from already the chatbot here, and you can see this is the first part, the SRC, which you need to take it. You can see here the property name SRC, channel ID, token ID, and ID. Yeah, so let's copy this guy, copy that, come back, and you can just put this. So that's your step number 2 for setting up the property. And now let's inject this element into the DOM. So you will say document.append document.body. Want to of course append it in the body, and append child. So another API. Yeah, and then we will pass this brand new element. Now of course I am also missing some two more properties, which is channel ID and token. So let's also set those attributes up. After basically appending, we can just set them up actually. So say document dot set attribute. Sorry, it should be on your element actually, not the document. So this is the element which you're creating dynamically, and I'll say set attribute. You see the web ID is helping you to generate the signature nicely over here. So next attribute is our channel ID. And then the another one was token. And let's do that. And both this information is also there with you into here. Okay. So never ever copy paste the code, guys, and never learn from those trainers who teaches you copy paste of code, because that way they will somehow hide the real technicality and the problems which may arise when you write the code or when you do the coding in the system. That's not the right methodology. So we at AnubhavTrainings.com make sure that whenever you coding, you don't copy paste any piece of code. So that is the way you understand. Okay. Right now you see WebID is showing you some ESLint checkers. Basically these are guideline checks which WebID does it automatically. You can suppress them pretty easily. Right click on your project, go to project settings, and now here you can see code checking for JavaScript, and here you can find usage of the document directly. Just search for the rule which says using of document API. Not able to find that, just check it. So camel case, comma dangle, complexity, dot notation, global strict, guarding. So here you see these are all the guidelines, the ESLint guidelines, which you see, for example, no use of console statement, and many times you use console or debugger, system gives you those errors. That's the reason system gives you those errors. So now maybe just see which is the one which is relevant. If I switch it off, then probably system won't do any guideline check, just to suppress that error for time being. Okay, not able to find the one which is relevant. Just check. Yes, I think SAP no DOM access. This is going to be warning. Again, it's a warning, so I want to see the one which are error. Line break. Say SAP no element creation. You see this one. I will remove this and let me save this and see if it does suppress that error for us into the code. Yeah, you see one error is gone, which was at the create element. Similarly, setting the attribute dynamically, there must be another ESLint check. You can suppress that so system won't hamper or trouble you much with those errors, because this is the way we are integrating with an external reference. Yeah, so this is what we have to use it. There's no option. So now I think we are complete. So let's go ahead and test our bot. Now just select our project and click on execute, and let's see what do we get. Awesome, a beautiful screen with the image. And now right over there you can see, are you bored? That's the initial message which we have configured as part of our chatbot. And now I say click on me, and there you go, you can see it opens up our chatbot here. So currently I'm running in a zoom mode. That's the reason system is thinking like I'm running it in a mobile device, so it's getting it in the full screen mode. Awesome. So let's go ahead and test our bot. Hey, and there you go, response comes up. And now I'm going to go back and type in some more. I say, how are you? As usual, you can see everything is fine. I would say I would like to reset my password, and then it gives me the systems, and I would say I would like probably change in front-end system. And there you go, our link out there. You can also observe the color, the title color, and the foreground, the background color of the chat, including the response messages color which we had configured as part of our chatbot. I click on the button, the link over here, and now you see what do we get. Voila! So it takes us to anubhavtrainings.com as always, and now with that we are complete. Let's try to add some more flavor to our chatbot. So I'm going to go back to the bot, and you can see here there are some more options to configure, like settings, and we can go ahead and check some of the settings. Suppose for example you want to delete your bot, you can always go to danger zone and you can delete your bot from here. Maybe I would like to also add some more features, so let's go ahead and see them. So we will come here to our bot, and I go to monitor, and now you can see also here the usage statistics. Just now we have sent some messages, so you see system is checking here the log feed, so you can see all my last messages which has come from which country. So you can see I'm right now in UK, so all the messages have come from UK in English language. So that's what system is doing. Maybe I want to add some more features. So for what I do, I go to connect, and here in add persistence static menu, what I want to do is I want to add a menu item. So let me show you. Just click on that and let's add a menu item. I would like to add another link again for our training website. So I will say click here to know more, and I will directly put here a link, a navigation link to Anubhav Learning Series, where you can actually find all these training videos and today's class PPT, including the source code. What we have written in Fiori is fully downloadable, absolutely free to all of you, and you can get that downloaded from Anubhav Learning Series from our website anubhavtrainings.com. I will also put the link into the description of this video so that you can download the complete source code absolutely free in your system and try it out. So let's go ahead and go to anubhavtrainings.com, and that's where you can find all our free learning series videos, including the source code. So let's go in there, and you would find here Anubhav Learning Series. All right, so let's go in there, copy Anubhav Learning Series, and I'm gonna put the link out here for the button. Awesome. Just delete this one, and I say update a menu. You can test immediately a bot over here, so when you go to the bot you can always just go do a quick testing right over there. So I just say save, and what will happen is we will go back to Fiori App though and reload our Fiori App, and let's come out of zoom level. So now you see it in the desktop mode. How does it look like? So now you see this is how it looks like in the desktop mode. All right, so now I will just click on this tiny little button and you see click here to know more. That's our menu. I just click on that and straight away it takes me to Anubhav Learning Series where you can download the source code of today's session. All right, so maybe one more quick bonus I wanted to show you here. So what I'll do is I will go back and show you one nice hack which I just recently found out in the chatbot. So maybe just quickly zoom in again, switching to the mobile mode. And what I'll do is I will just do this, some symbol out there. Okay, let me just try that up. And now watch out guys, this guy, I type in, I press enter, and amazing, look at here man. So this is what the hack which I've recently found out on the chat. This is something you will not find easily anywhere on the internet. Yeah, so again I type in the same word and there you go, it prints kind of GIF images right out there in the SAP chat. All right, so this was an amazing feature which I just found out exploring the chatbot. With that, thank you so much. All right, so stay tuned for more free videos on Anubhav Learning Series. Keep watching. If you think this video is helpful, please do like, subscribe to my channel. Do let me know your feedback. If you want to know more about Kai as well as the chatbot integration, please leave some comments below into the chat window on this video. With that, Anubhav signing out. Thank you so much.